Well, at 5 o'clock this morning when my alarm went off and I got up and looked out the window and it was raining, middle of December, it's freezing cold and pitch black, I thought to myself, what the hell am I doing? But then I remembered I was heading down to Oxford, down to Orchid Lakes to meet up with Shane to get this rewritten 3 filmed and done. And I've got to say, it's nice to not have us in competition, obviously off the back of Winner Stays On, so looking forward to the next 48 hours. He was setting, oh no, he's on his way down. What is that?
It's Christmas, mate.
Oh my God.
Come on. Are we rolling, yeah?
We're rolling, mate. Yeah, like I was saying, it's nice to not be in competition with Shane. Obviously, the last bit of filming we did, we was at each other's throats, trying to get the Winner Stays On victory under our belts. But like I say, it's getting on for late afternoon now. We've just got the rods out. It's been a long day, obviously lapping a lake, talking to Dave, the owner, and I think it's a case, get the kettle on, do some dinner.
Mate, 100%. I don't know whether you touched on it, but yeah, it was a grueler getting out of the sack this morning, coming fishing, pitch black and it being freezing, but it's fishing and that's what gets the fire burning. So we're here, we're doing it, we've got 48 hours and we've got a load of catching up with these guys to do. So let's get a kettle on. We've found some areas out there. We'll see what it's got in store for us over the next, or over this evening and tonight, but we'll catch up with all these guys properly tomorrow. Yeah. And I think a nice hot cup of tea.
Nice hot cup of tea?
Nice, yeah, it needs to be nice, mate. But let's get a nice hot cup of tea on and we'll come up with an action plan.
Yeah, I mean, the purpose of Rewritten is obviously just the behind the scenes stuff sort of with me and Shane. So the last time you see us was back in June?
Bayswater on the social, yeah.
Before we launched, which was the week before we launched. So you've got 5 months of catching up to do. So a lot to go through tomorrow.
And it has been busy.
Yeah, it has, mate. But for now, I am literally on the verge of shaking. So before I rattle this mic off my chest, get the kettle.
Let's get the kettle on,
yeah,
come on. Ooh, it's tight, mate.
Yeah, it is. I don't want to have to redo it. Yeah? Well, the sun has literally just gone down and the middle rod has gave a little drop back. I don't think it's massive, but it's a start which we're definitely going to take. I think I took out my left rod. Oh yes. Definitely taking that. That is a really good start. Bit of chaos to deal with, 2 rods to put back out, and then we'll take a look at this one. Chances of hooking my left rod on the lead clip's arm. Oh, there you go. We got it in. That's all that matters. She's good to go back out. Lovely jubbly. All right. Let's get her unhooked, 2 rods back out on the dance floor, and then we'll take a look at the price. Well, as promised, I'm not going to bother weighing her. She's definitely 20, good 20 and all. Proper old one, my first orchid carp as well. Never been up here before. We'll talk about the place a little bit more in depth tomorrow, but that is a perfect way to start the night. We haven't even had dinner yet. So yeah, I'm going to get Shane to do me a couple of snaps of this one. I'm going to slip her back. Rods are already back out. With a bit of luck, it's going to be a bit of a busy night, and you'll be seeing a rather tired Lee in the morning. But that is an absolutely mega one. Well happy with that. Buzzing. Yeah, boy. Wow, it's cold.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome to the first morning of Rewritten 3, and a very, very bitterly cold one.
Yeah.
It is.
It was, well, last night was bitter, but you know, we're out doing it, and
We've had one.
you had a little result last night, so.
Did, obviously the fish you see, just on dark last night. I put the rods back out, but it just didn't happen for whatever reason. Don't really know, to be fair. By 9 o'clock I was wrapped up in bed, heated blanket on, and that was me. But yeah, so as we touched on, we are down at Orchid Lakes in Oxford, and to be fair with you, it's my first time coming, but meeting Dave, the new owner, and the team here that he's got working for him, I've got to say personally, you can see the work and the effort they're putting in. On the lap round, you can see they're rebuilding swims. They was working all day yesterday opposite us on some swims, and obviously the stocking program, feeding program that Dave was talking about whilst we was booking in. You can see they're putting a lot of effort in, and I think it's starting to show now on the place, isn't it?
Yeah, no, like, you know, we had a good chat yesterday before we set up with Dave, the new owner, and obviously really welcoming, you know, really good team, and couldn't have done more for us when we got here. And you know, it's a place steeped in history, isn't it? So
yeah,
you know, a lot of you would have seen the videos done on here historically from a few other anglers and a few different like industry companies and stuff, and it's got the nickname and holds the nickname of Home of the 30s. So you know, some real old nice looking fish in here, and you know, it looks like he's securing the future now with the stocking and stuff like that he was talking about yesterday. So
all positive. Yeah,
really nice place. Obviously, you know, you can book on here now for the foreseeable using the Swim Booker app and stuff as well. So yeah, have a look at it, and definitely, you know, I would recommend it. It's got that vibe about the place. You look out at that expanse of water and you just never know what's going to happen. So yeah, get yourself booked on and give it a go if you've got the opportunity, for sure.
I mean, we're here mid-December, obviously it's cold, we're up against it. Northwesterly's batting us in the face, but I can imagine in the summer when it's all grown up and all the trees have flourished, and it's a real nice place to be. So yeah, hats off to Dave and the team. Again, thank you for having us down, really appreciate it. So yeah, like I say, we've got 48 hours, well, we had 48 hours. Obviously we've got today, tonight, and then we're off tomorrow morning. So I think if they show out there again this afternoon, then it's game on. If they show elsewhere, then it could be a different story, but that's fishing and we'll just have to wait and see, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully you get one, mate, and we can leave one apiece.
Yeah, or two. I'll have to.
Well, obviously the purpose of Rewritten is to fill you in on what goes on behind the scenes, etc. with Atomic. Now, like we touched on the intro, the last time you see us was June, which was it was the week before launch. I think as that social finished, we launched.
Heatwave, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, heatwave, yeah. So it's to sort of catch you up from what's been going on from there. So obviously leading on from launch, the main focus of the second half of the year was obviously tackle shops. And I'm pleased to say that we had a really good response from the tackle shops. We managed to secure 25 stockists with 2 in Europe over the past 5.5 months that we've been doing it. And yeah, it's going really well, isn't it?
Yeah, like, you know as well as I do, mate, and it's kind of, it's really refreshing to go into those tackle shops and speak to those owners or tackle shop managers and have those conversations. And from the ones that obviously we've had decent conversations with that have taken us on, those relationships are really flourishing.
Yeah.
And I definitely think, we relaunched in June, and so let's just say June to November to onboard, stock, build relationships with, and make those relationships flourish with stock moving regularly in these tackle shops now. We've seen that from the reorders that have happened and the conversations that we've had with those tackle shops.
Positive.
Real positive.
Positive.
It's been so busy, and to be back in 27 active retailers since June, astonishing to me. It's really positive, and I couldn't be more proud of us and the wider team for doing what we've done. So yeah, absolutely.
Like you touched on, I think the fact that the stock's moving through the doors on them shops as well, that's the main thing for us, is that not only are we putting it in, but it's going out and they're reordering. Some of them are on their 3rd, 4th, 5th, even 6th orders now. So in 4 or 5 months, it's a big feat, and we've done really well, and we just continue into next year and we carry on. So head over to the website. On there's a store locator. You can whack your postcode in and it will tell you your nearest stockists. Failing that, you can go to the Atomic website and order direct as well. So you've got both options there, you're covered. Besides tackle shops, obviously, you've had a France trip.
I have had a French trip, yeah. I went in September, early September. So I think it was the 14th of September. I had actually headed over to Crete. If you haven't heard of Orchid Lakes complex, I'm sure 90% of you probably have, but it is kind of one of those, not holiday destinations, but it is a commercial, French venue. Once I was a couple of days in, and for the rest of the week, I was pleasantly surprised about how uncommercial it felt. You
had a good one though, didn't you? You had a few?
I managed to scrape sort of one a night up until the 3rd night, so I had 3 in 3 nights. And yeah, the first bite I had was actually a 58. So that was a 58 mirror, and yeah, it was every bit of the size of the fish that it sounds to be. You're sort of in anticipation of what it can be. First fish, first bite of the trip, and landing a 58. That was on a size 6 grabber. So as well as everyone else knows.
Straight back out. Played it for a week.
It's that's my go-to hook at the moment with the hook link and the combination I'm using. Ended the trip on 6 fish, 3 40s, a 50, and a couple of 30s, I think it was.
Nice.
So yeah, nothing to complain about really. It was a really good trip. Yeah. Craig as well that I was with, he landed his PB. He's obviously using the Atomic stuff as well, but besides that, he landed the biggest fish of the trip between all 4 of us, and probably 2nd biggest fish of the whole complex that year. That week, he had a 66 mirror.
Nice.
So
nice.
Yeah, it was really chuffed to bits to see him land that, and obviously do the whole PB thing and cups of tea and bottles of beer and stuff, and celebrating like it should be.
Besides from France, we had a Pans Lake Media Social. Giles came down with us. Matt was scheduled to turn up, but he was busy. So yeah, a bit of a media trip down there. We had it off again, didn't we? We had I think I had 3 first night.
You had 3 in real quick succession, and I sort of sat there and I was like, as much as it's your mate catching fish, I was like, oh no, here we go. I'm gonna have to up my game here to keep up with him. But no, it was really nice to see you land them 3 fish in quick succession, mate. And
I just remember that one you had on the last morning. It was proper mahogany orange,
yeah,
well proportioned, big scaly mirror. It was the epitome of what Pans is about. And I think to see him have that on the last morning, obviously after that session that we did before where he blanked it, it made that session, didn't it? That was a wicked fish, mate. Yeah, it done really well.
Yeah, the colours on it were immense, and again, just rectifying mistakes to make something happen was really welcoming, and just knowing your thought process is right, and securing the fact that you do know what you're doing at times is always a battle within fishing, isn't it? It's just...
Yeah. I mean, 9 times out of 10, you're never doing anything wrong, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. And I think that was one of them trips where me and Mickey was both on the other side of the lake. We both caught, and everyone else around the lake didn't. Unfortunately, that's just how it was. But like I say, the second time we went, we managed to split the lake in 3. Shane was in the middle, I was at one end, Giles at the other. Giles lost 1. Like I say, you had 4. I nicked 3. I think I lost 1 as well, didn't I, Hook Paul?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So yeah, following on from that, we then went into our first promo team social organised by Simon, the promo team manager. You guys booked all Hallcott?
Yeah, so the instruction to Simon was basically get the lads together. It's time to get the lads together that are on the promo team to all meet each other, you know, shake hands, bump fists and everything like that. And yeah, we booked Hallcott as a brand promo team social. And yeah, again, another very, very nice venue. Those of you that know it, you'll have seen the social media. They're hot on their social media, Hallcott, and you know they do a real good job of the imagery and portraying the place in the right light.
I didn't go to that. I was moving house, would I? You
was moving house, mate, and yeah. So me and Giles attended that from sort of the management perspective, and as well as Simon, the team manager. But 25 lads got together, had a really wicked time. The fishing was difficult. There is a little bit of footage, you know, circling on social media. You know, our photographs of the time spent there, as well as I think there was a couple caught, wasn't there? They had a couple, but they were only little, so they just slipped them. I don't think anything. But between, you know, I don't know what it was. It was during that time, you know, it was sort of felt up and down the country. I think there was kind of a period where there was a low oxygen levels and things like that. Yeah. But you know, it fished slow, unfortunately. But you know, I'm sure if we was there on a different time and a different date, then between the 25 anglers that went, we would have had it right off. But it was just a case of it being...
Again, it boils down to that fact that it is fishing, isn't it? And it's not called catching, it's called fishing. So unfortunately, you can't control the weather. I think it was around that time there was loads of oxygen crashes and low oxygen and stagnant weather. And yeah. But like I say, they had a few. I think it was more important for the brand as such to sort of lay on something for the team. The guys have done the work through a year. And we do try our best to sort of look after the team. So any events we can put on, I mean, they get 2-3 socials booked a year covered for them. So yeah, it was more from a brand perspective, get the team together, put some names to some faces, and from what I heard, it was a successful trip on that half of it.
Yeah, mate, it was a wicked get together. All of them, every single lad I can't knock. Fishing talk ensued, and stories and where people had fished, and you know everything. Exactly what you can imagine it to be. Like imagine a
social vibe.
25 anglers getting together, and some great friendships came off the back of it. I know that some of the lads, you know, had never met, but they're now friends and they talk on a regular basis.
What it's all about, isn't it?
And for us, like sitting here from putting it all together, that's exactly what we want from our team, isn't it?
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah, they had a wicked time, and you know, I'm sure we'll be back there at some point to rectify the scorecards and put some fish on the bank for sure.
After that, I think I went France. I had a filming trip scheduled out at Tang de Bows, which is now at Tang de Beanie. I know Alfie really well. Late in the season, probably past when the bookings sort of stop, in the close season side of things out there, and it was tough. It was a week of non-stop trying, and everything was against me. I think I had every bit of weather. We turned up -4, snow on the ground. Sunday it was then 14 degrees and I'm walking around in a t-shirt, and Monday we had full-scale rain, 40-mile-an-hour winds for a couple of days, and then it sort of evened out to the end of the week and then got cold again. Couple that with an algae bloom, November, no idea where that come from, but yeah, pea green, and like I say, it was just a bad week's fishing, unfortunately, because it would have been a nice film. We had the lake to ourselves. Took my mate Brad out there. He did nick one. He had a nice little, I think it was a 23 stocky that had only just been put in. But yeah, we tried. We moved twice. Fished under the stars for the last 2 nights. That was stupid. Woke up with a frost on the bottom of the bag, and yeah, we tried, but unfortunately, it just didn't happen.
I must admit, mate, I know you invited me on that, and I, at the time, I had to, unfortunately and regrettably, decline the invitation because of commitments. But you know, I must admit that when it was leading up to going out there, I was sat there at home going, "Oh, damn it! I could have been going away for this week, etc." And then
you didn't miss much.
After the first 48, 72 hours, and I sort of dropped you that message, and we had a bit of a chat, and I was like, I must admit, I felt for you, but also was like, oh, okay, like I'll take that. I didn't miss too much, but you know, it's just timing, mate, isn't it? It's timing, and you're always up against it. You know, late in the year, and
I keep saying it, mate, but it's fishing. It's literally fishing.
It is. You know, we can sit here and we can fluff things up as much as you like sometimes, but sometimes it's just about being very honest, very raw, and
It is what it is, isn't it?
anybody that goes fishing knows the lay of the land, and it is what it is. Like, you can't.
No one catches all the time. I don't care who you are. Nobody catches all the time. You all have to put the puzzle together, and unfortunately, things are out of control, and you can't control them elements.
Those bad times 110% make the good times, though, don't they? So, you know, that's what it's all about.
We do have some announcements coming very early part of next year, partnership-wise. We've done some deals, well, we've been doing some deals behind the scenes in terms of partnerships, and I'm excited to sort of see what happens next year. They sort of fall in line in terms of the way that the brand is going. I can't really say too much, but
no,
you'll see them very, very soon. Let's put it that way.
You know, what we want it to be and what they want it to be, etc., is exactly in line with each other.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. But yeah, definitely look out for it early part of next year, and I'm sure that it can only do good for the industry, our brand, their brand, and everything else involved. So
yeah, really good. Atomic Tackle TV. Obviously, you guys would have seen we launched several series this year.
You've been busy, mate.
I say this year, I have been
between you and a few cameramen, you've been busy.
We're really busy, mate. Yeah. I say this year within the last 5 months. Obviously, the Dialed In series is kicked off now, which we're going to continue into next year. I think it's really important to give the guys their little bit of spotlight as such. I think in angling, there's so many different ways and techniques, and everybody's got their own little niches and things they do. And I think it's really good to share them. And if it helps people along the way, which that series was kind of dialing into that angler's approach and how they tackle certain aspects of fishing. I think it's a really good series. So we're going to continue that into next year. That will continue to roll with the consultants and the field testers from the Atomic team. So you'll see some new faces, which again, I think is really important. It's not the same 2-3 people over again. You get bored of looking at me and him. Do you know what I mean? We waffle on, we talk a load of rubbish, and you need to see some new faces, don't you? And he wears silly hats.
You wear silly Christmas hats because you think you're funny, and yeah. No, but it's really good to sort of dial it into, and that's where the name came from, isn't it? Dial into certain anglers' strengths, and you know that we'll be probably covering quite a broad range, and we want to cover quite a broad range. So,
well, they're all doing different types of angling, different
fishing
styles.
At range, fishing at distance, effectively. You know, overnight campaigns in between work, how they make the most of that. You know,
Scotty's deep water
fishing.
How many of you fish extreme deep water of 40 foot? Not often, but to be able to see someone that's done that year on year out and cracked it,
yeah,
it's a great sort of insight into that style of angling. So dialed in is really important. Obviously now this one, well, when this one goes out, you would have seen the first episode of Winner Stays On. It's something that we wanted to do for a long time, but getting diaries to line up was just an absolute nightmare. I mean, we could have potentially, we wanted to film that July, August. It was on the board then.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it ended up being an October, November thing. But again, we'll continue that into next year. The team will vote on what angler they want to pitch up to face the winners. And hopefully, by the time this airs, I'll know who I've got to face next. On top of Winner Stays On and Dialed In, we've got a few other series planned. Rewritten will obviously continue. You ain't getting rid of us that easy.
Well, we wouldn't be rewriting anything, would we? If we stopped it.
But there is a few more series on the board, obviously, to launch into next year. But yeah, like I say, again, in 5 months, put out a hell of a lot of content. Couple that with obviously the product media as well, and that leads me nicely on to sort of our last couple of points. Obviously, leading up to Christmas, we've brought in a little bit of merch.
Yeah, so merchandise, obviously we're always looking to expand the range, and just, you know, elements within brand awareness that you can bring in that's nice and it's, you know, interesting. Things like them, yeah. So, you know, we've brought out for the team some lighters that they can use, you know, windproof, refillable. Cups and mugs are coming, some nice wrapped handled mugs, etc. Just bits, you know, sticker packs and yeah, things like that. I don't know whether you've got your bucket to add, mate, but
it's next to you.
It's next to me. But yeah, so it's yeah, just have a look to see what's going on. It's all over social media. You know, not going to talk about that too much, but it's just some elements that are nice to add to the team aspect and brand awareness. So, yeah, you know, some elements like that. But
that's not all we've done.
No, so I guess that kind of really nicely leads us on to
Product,
which
my bag.
You're very heavily involved in,
baby.
and obviously I dip my toe in and listen to the meetings and get involved. But yeah, product development as such.
Yeah, I think the direction we take the range is very important. Obviously, you hear things, you hear feedback. One thing for me that sort of stuck with me was Atomic never really launched anything original or new in the relaunch. And I think it's very important to remember the old Atomic range. Although the products they brought out this year was not 100% new or groundbreaking or never been seen before, for Atomic as a company, that range is very, very new. It never had zigs, it never had tungsten, it never had...
It's very comprehensive now.
Yeah, the depth, it never had that depth. So although to the general eye, it might seem like, oh, well, you haven't done anything new, but it was a lot of work and it was a lot of new product for Atomic. And I think it was important to get that foundation because it leads us nicely onto next year and the year after. And like I say, product development, it never stops. It's always going on in the background. As well as everything else, it is the forefront of my mind. And I'm really pleased to say that we should be seeing a few new items coming in spring and a few new items coming in the end of the year. A few of them of which that are not on the market and are original and are, I'd like to say my babies, but it rolls on the same ethos of what we've done with the whole range. It gets rid of everything that annoys you. Everything that annoys you in fishing that's wrong with tackle, we get rid of it. But this time we've done things that are not there to make your life easier. And there's some really nice products coming. And again, I have to be really careful with what I say, but we work really hard behind the scenes and watch this space because there's a few new items coming in 2025 that I think are really nice. Keep your eyes peeled. But yeah, that's about a full catch-up, mate. And then that's 20th of December. Bosh, we're here.
Yeah, 20th of December, 5 days before Christmas. You know, we've got some very understanding partners that have let us come out so close to Christmas. You know, we are 20th of December now. It was time to catch up with all these guys. It was time to give you an update. You know, like Lee said it previously, the last rewritten was back in June, July.
We'll try not to leave it so long.
Yes.
Then there'll be less to catch up on.
Yeah, yeah. That pretty much brings us up to date with what's been happening with Atomic. And
there's more to come, isn't
there's
there?
so much more to come. There's so much more on the drawing board, both product, both brand, both, you know, retail wise, etc. It's all growing week on week. We'll see what 2025 has in store for us. But for now, I think we need to possibly redo these rods now. It's late morning. They've been out since last night, so I'll have a bit of a rethink and a juggle in my area. And I think, you know, despite obviously catching up with these guys with some more action, we wish you all the best for the Christmas period.
You'd have already had Christmas time this goes out.
We hope that you had a merry Christmas, and we hope that the new year brings you everything that you want it to be. And we will see you on screen or hopefully on the bank. And let's make 2025 a great year, both for you guys personally, for us, and
everyone involved.
Everyone involved. So yeah, let's hope
that's
the industry...
That's sounding like an ending to this film. It's not the ending, don't worry. We're going to fish all day and all night and we'll see you in the morning. But
yeah. I mean, despite the fact that, you know, I feel like I want to pack up. I'm cold, but no, there's fish to be caught. So let's do this night that's ahead of us and see what happens.
Well, let's face it, we ain't going to get out until the new year now, so we've got to make the most of it. 'Cause if I go home, she's only going to have me painting something or moving or building something. So
you've got nurseries to decorate.
I have, mate. I have. Right, okay, kettle on. Yeah, refresh the rods, and we'll catch up with you if we have a fish. If not, we'll check out with you in the morning just before we leave. Slicking out there, a little bit behind my spot. I think that's Matey's bait from Alamo last night. He's gone now. Can have a bit of a free munch there. Get blown this way on that wind. Oh boys, look, there's a patch here with maggots in it. Big L comes along. That's mine, mate. Pepper peach wafter, bosh, hauler in the bottom lip. December 50, done. We can dream anyway, can't we? Haven't seen anything, pretty dead. So, fingers crossed I haven't gone far. I put 3 out on the same spot now, edge my bets, 1 further to the left. Shane's gone long as well on his left rod over to my way, so hopefully one of us gets a bite. Gonna get dinner on, drink plenty of tea. I think we've got pizza tonight. And that'll be us going into what will be the last night of Rewritten 3. So if you don't see us through the evening or in the night, then we'll catch you in the morning before we sign out. Anticipation's high. Big L could definitely be 50. I think it was that 5 months ago at 48, so who knows? Let's hope he likes a mainline wafter. It's a long old walk.
It's a long old walk, mate.
It's a long old trek. Luckily for us, the bailiffs come and got the camera gear for us. We didn't have to lug that, but it's a big old trek. Fish never showed up last night as expected. We didn't really see anything, did we?
No, we didn't see him last night, not like we did the day before, mate. And there was a couple out in front of you, weren't there, the day before, and you managed one. So yeah, that's all you can ask for this time of year. You know.
Only bite on the pond over the last 2 days. Fell to us, I'll take it. It's my first orchid carp. And yeah, it is what it is. Wet pack up this morning, long barrel push, and we're here loaded, ready to go.
Yeah, I'm glad that van's loaded, mate, and although it's a 2-hour drive home, I'm going to be welcome for that heated seat.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
100%.
I think we'll leave it there then for Rewritten 3. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, obviously catching up from June, and we will see you in 2025.
We're back here 2025 with a group social, so
yeah,
sets us up for that.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, from us and for everybody that's watching, obviously a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if you're watching this afterwards, and hope you had a good one. And more from us and Atomic in 2025.